Hello everyone, Ben here, and this week we are going to be having a little look back at quite a unique episode that aired in 1987, where a local news team have arrived in Albert Square to film a documentary on real life London. They want to show how London is changing, and what better place to show this than the good old knees up that is East End of Walford. The filming team arrive, much to the bad luck of them, to Pete Bill, who of course welcomes Martin Hunter as warmly as you would expect for someone who's not from around here.
Yes, I think you probably can, Mr.
Bill. Pete Bill. You got any ideas on that place? Forget it.
The news of the documentary soon gets around the square that they are looking for people to take part in the film. And of course, posh boy yuppie Willmot-Brown is first in line to not only show us all he's a great upstanding member of society, but he's also seeing this as an opportunity to get word round about his new business, the Dagma, and how it's very modern. The crew have turned up on this sunny morning to start the interviews for the show. And it's important to remember here that Willmot-Brown is pinning all his hopes on this documentary to show him in the best possible light ever and to bring a load of new yuppies to his pub. After all, he's under the illusion this film is pro New London. Pete Bill is quick off the mark to do a bit of slagging off about anyone new coming around, but is also quick enough to say how the yuppies only eat fresh herbs, and he's of course moving with the times on his fruit and veg stall by selling them grass to eat.
Especially with this wine barrel mob, because all they eat is fresh herbs and alfalfa.
Grass, that's all it is. Pets eating grass.
The recording for the live interviews have started, and first up getting interviewed is the great battle axe that is Lou Bill. I really don't think Martin knew what he was getting into when she naturally starts giving one of the best interviews you could ever hope for from someone from the general public.
How are they now?
Well, more like a fun fair after the youngsters they are. Those with money. That's what it's all about these days. Money.
Dr. Legg, as usual, is as wooden and straight to business as you could expect from him, and this is the first signs where you can't help but get a feeling Martin isn't one to be trusted, and all he's interested in is getting a bunch of sound bites so he can create his own storyline. Who would do something like that?
So you've lived in the East End all your life?
Well, there's Bournemouth, Poole, Shoeburyness, Lee. People don't talk to each other anymore. You know what it is? It's all these yuppies round here. I remember a time when a pub was a pub.
Dr. Harold Legg, I bet you've seen some changes in your time here, haven't you?
Well, not really. Well, the people are tough.
Those with money. That's what it's all about these days. Money.
Oh, is that true? Or isn't it a rather romantic view of what the East End used to be like?
It's been a slog from day one.
There've always been famous street markets in the East End. Peter Beale, do you feel that you've had to change your stock at all to cater for the new intake of people who are here these days?
I mean, the West Indies want something different to the Asians.
Yeah, but what particularly do they want to buy?
Because all they eat is fresh herbs and alfalfa.
Grass, that's all it is. Pets eating grass.
Pete's big moment here has arrived and he's all ready for his moment in the sun. But sadly for him, and us viewers I suppose, he gets interrupted over and over again and even the film runs out. Once he does get going, he's got nothing to say but xenophobic comments, and he can't even remember his lines from earlier, you know, about all the yuppies eating grass and whatnot.
But keep the graffiti in shot because it's more interesting than he is.
Willmot-Brown's turn now, and he gets interviewed right outside his home where, of course only recently, it has been graffitied. Just in case you weren't 100% sure on the direction Martin wants to take this film in, you sure do know now. I mean, if only Willmot-Brown saw the warning signs as clear as we do.
But keep the graffiti in shot because it's more interesting than he is.
Den's turn to show us all exactly how it's done now, with a no-nonsense, couldn't give two craps real East End pub, and tell us exactly what he's all about.
Thrives on its locals. Places like the Dagma, they're for tourists, aren't they?
And here we get this great little moment where poor old Angie has her bit of Dutch courage in the morning. She's pining just for a little bit of camera attention, only in the end to get cut out completely.
They cut me out.
With all the filming now finished up, the residents of Walford get to finally see the finished result, only airing just a few days later. I guess the 80s had quite a fast turnaround for television content, and we get some fantastic reactions now to how the documentary turned out. And oh boy, I wonder who doesn't come out smelling of roses on this one. Now, just to get away from the plot for a second, we have this short B-plot here of Pat, who has been drinking with Colin. May I add, he's an out and gay man, by the way, where she sees fit to giving it a go to seduce him, seeing as she's run out of straight men, and she wants to turn him straight. Now, you don't think I'd miss a chance to show you this, did I? I just love this line.
I say it doesn't matter much in the dark anyway.
Okay, right, back to the film now, and the time has finally come for everyone to sit down around the television and see what it's all about. The first thing Pauline notices is just how grotty her house looks from the outside, and I really thought this was such a great natural line from someone seeing their house shown off to the world for the first time. And of course, Willmot-Brown is there, proud as punch, about his big upcoming moment, but he's quickly turned sour when he sees exactly how he's being portrayed. And yes, much like many reality stars nowadays, he's blaming it on the edit.
I didn't say that. I didn't mean that.
And dirty old Den, as you'd expect, comes out of this smelling as roses. And of course, we end it all with having Lou Bill, who seems to be presently happy and pleased that she's just on the telly. And really, I don't even think she's listening to what's being said. She's just happy to have her face exposed to millions of people watching at home. So obviously we knew from the get-go that this film wasn't going to be showing off Willmot-Brown in the best of light, but I just thought it was a really interesting snapshot into seeing how these sort of everyday regular people just thrived and really got off on the idea of having 5 minutes of short fame on television. So let me know what you thought of this episode when it aired, and also let us know any suggestions you may have for future episodes for us to have a look back on. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't ever miss any content just like this.